This isn't your average philosophy class. This is the deep dive version. Welcome to the deep dive. We're the show that plunges right into fascinating subjects, pulling out the absolute best bits, the key insights from, well, stacks of sources, articles, research, you name it.
Yep, and our notes too.
Right, and the goal is really to give you a shortcut, get you well informed, maybe find some surprising facts, and hopefully keep you hooked.
Definitely.
Today, we're doing a deep dive on a character who's, beloved by millions, but maybe often misunderstood. Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh, absolutely. A fantastic choice.
We're calling her a figure built from mythic sorrow, spiritual struggle, and quiet power. She's kind of a scroll bearer in her own right. That's a term from one of our main sources, the Raven Scroll. It means her story is always unfolding, like she is her story, constantly writing and rewriting itself. Just this profound, evolving narrative inside her.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how often characters, even, modern pop culture characters, aren't just made up out of nowhere.
Right.
They tap into these really ancient archetypes.
Yeah.
Universal human stuff, timeless struggles. And that's why their stories hit so hard, why they resonate.
Yeah.
Across generations, cultures, whatever. Raven's a perfect example. She embodies conflicts, triumphs too, that feel so familiar, like they're baked into us somehow.
That's spot on. And that's exactly our mission for this deep dive. To unpack that resonance. We've gone through the Raven Scroll, the really unique source, detailed insights, analysis.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
It is. And we even looked at an alternative ending for her story, which we'll get to. So we're pulling out the deepest lessons, the most surprising facts. Think of it as like your express lane to understanding all the layers of her journey.
Illuminating those connections maybe you hadn't seen before.
Exactly. So let's unroll this scroll, metaphorically speaking, and get right into it. Starting at the beginning, her origins. Okay, let's unpack this. Raven's start in life is, wow, truly unique. Sets her apart right away. Daughter of a human mother, Arella, who is apparently full of compassion, and then this incredibly powerful, terrifying, interdimensional demon lord, Trigon.
Yeah, Trigon, not exactly your average dad.
Not even close. So this duality, it's baked in from birth. She's literally caught between worlds. It defines her. And she wasn't raised on Earth, but in Azeroth, this mystical place.
Serene, but intense in its own way.
Intense is right. Her childhood wasn't normal. She was specifically, rigorously taught to control her emotions, especially anger, sorrow, every feeling monitored, managed, suppressed.
And the why behind that control is just, it's huge. It's not just about, being polite or finding inner peace.
Yeah.
Her feelings, rage, fear, despair, those big ones, they are directly hardwired to her immense magical powers.
Wow.
So those emotions spiral. Her demonic side, that heritage, could just break loose, unleash destruction on a, frankly, apocalyptic scale.
Wow. Imagine carrying that weight. Knowing your bad mood could literally, end the world.
Exactly. It's not just personal discipline, it's a cosmic imperative. That conflict, human versus demon, isn't just a plot point. It's the absolute core struggle of her being, pulling her apart constantly.
Yeah, you see that in some of the early comics, right? Even a little flicker of emotion and bam! Powers lash out, sometimes hurting people she cares about.
Which only makes her pull back more, reinforcing that isolation. It's a vicious cycle.
And that deep dual nature, it fuels all her main internal conflicts, doesn't it? Her whole life is this constant, exhausting battle with identity. Balancing the light she wants, she strives for, against the darkness that's literally in her blood.
It's relentless.
Imagine carrying that every single day. The guilt just for who her father is, what she could become, the fear of her own power, and Trigon's influence, always lurking, right? Trying to get a foothold. Our source, the Raven Scroll, says her greatest fear, her deepest terror, is becoming exactly what she dreads most, a monster. Like him.
And you see that play out so powerfully in the animated series, like the end arc.
Oh, yeah.
Her fear of fulfilling that prophecy, of being his portal, it practically paralyzes her. She becomes a danger just by being terrified.
And isn't that fear, though, something, universal?
Right.
On some level.
Absolutely. It's that confrontation with our own shadows, isn't it? The potential we all have for harm, for messing up, for being the things we hate in others.
Yeah.
We all have that possibility inside us, right? That part we don't like to look at. That dark impulse, that moment of weakness we worry defines us. Raven just has it externalized as, a literal demon dad.
But the internal fight, the struggle not to be your worst self, that's relatable. That chilling thought, what if I'm just broken?
Exactly. It resonated deeply.
And that fear, that constant watchfulness inside, it leads to really painful consequences. Loneliness, isolation, big time.
It's self-protection, but at a huge cost.
To protect others, she builds these massive emotional walls, like wearing emotional armor, keeping everyone at arm's length, even her closest friends, the Titans.
It's a self-imposed exile, really. Driven by responsibility, but also just sheer terror of what she might unleash.
You see her physically pull away sometimes, right? Find a quiet corner. Or just, poof, astral project away if things get too real emotionally.
Anything to maintain that barrier.
And yet, here's the paradox.
She longs for connection.
Yeah.
Deep down, she's not just a loner who likes being alone. She's yearning, but suppressing it.
Yeah. Her whole time with the Titans, it's as much about learning to trust, accept friendship, belong, as it is about fighting Dr. Light or whoever.
The external fights mirror the internal ones. The struggle for acceptance of herself and from others, that deep desire to belong, to be seen and okay.
You catch glimpses of it sometimes, don't you? When she's watching the others, like laughing together. There's a look.
A subtle longing, absolutely.
Okay, so her powers, they're incredibly varied, unique, and all tied into that emotional landscape.
Right.
We've got potent empathy sensing, even feeling others' emotions, which sounds rough.
Can be overwhelming for sure.
Then telekinesis, moving stuff with her mind. Astral projection, separating her spirit, going unseen. Shadow manipulation, which sounds cool and kind of scary.
Bending darkness, yeah. Even fear itself.
And just raw, powerful magic coming from her core.
But the key thing, the thread tying it all together, making her so compelling.
They're all tied to her emotions and her willpower.
Exactly. Her inner state isn't just background noise. It is the engine of her power, and it's a total double-edged sword. Empowers her, endangers her.
And that catchphrase, Azarath Metrian Zinthos.
It's more than just magic words.
Way more. It's like her personal mantra, a focus point, something to bring calm when everything inside is chaotic.
It's the tool she uses to rein it all in, to focus her mind, control the power, keep those volatile emotions from exploding. It highlights the sheer effort involved.
Just to exist without causing chaos.
Yeah, that constant internal discipline. We've seen it, right? If she can't say it or can't focus, her powers go wild. It's terrifying. Raw, unfiltered emotion made manifest.
Which brings us to this really crucial point. Her emotional state isn't just her private struggle. It is her strength, the source of all these amazing abilities. But it's also her greatest weakness, her biggest vulnerability. Imagine that tension. Your best assets and your worst fears coming from the exact same place.
Inextricably linked. It makes her this cauldron of internal tension, constant self-negotiation. Every feeling has potentially world-shattering consequences.
It's like walking a tightrope constantly between control and total catastrophe. So looking at her larger story, her mythic arc, the big conflict, external and internal, is that fight against her father, Trigon.
Undeniably. And he's not just some villain who pops up occasionally.
No, he's like a living shadow inside her sometimes. This influence she's always resisting, a whisper of doom in her head.
Always present. But what's really fascinating, I think, is that her biggest heroic moments aren't always the huge power displays.
Right, not just blasting demons.
Often, they're quieter, more profound. Moments where she chooses mercy, or extends trust despite her fear, or embraces friendship instead of isolating herself.
Like in that Nevermore episode from the animated series, where the Titans literally go inside her mind.
Exactly, to help her fight projections of Trigon, projections of her own negativity, her letting them in, accepting their help. That's the real victory, more than any punch thrown.
So the real wins are internal, relational, fought inside, one with connection.
Precisely. It defines her true strength, her resilience.
And that key turning point, the thing that ripples through everything, it's when she finally lets her friends in, truly lets them in.
That act of vulnerability, allowing herself to be seen, not just the strong parts, but the fear, the weakness, allowing support.
That's when she finds the ultimate strength, isn't it? To resist her dad, defy her destiny. It's not about hiding to be strong, it's about connecting to be stronger, integrating all of herself, light and shadow.
With the help of her chosen family. It's powerful stuff.
So, okay, what does all this mean for us listening? What are the big takeaways, the core lessons from Raven's story, especially from the Raven Scroll?
Let's distill it down.
First, and this feels huge, you are not only your darkness,
Crucial.
especially for someone like her, carrying that weight. It means, despite the lineage, despite the threat, your identity isn't just the scary parts. Even if part of you feels like shadow, it's not the whole story.
Yeah, it's a powerful message.
Second, You can't save the world by locking your heart away. This challenges her whole initial strategy, right? The isolation.
Directly. It was understandable, maybe, but it prevented connection, prevented real strength. Real power comes from engaging, not pulling back.
Third, even if you're born into pain, you can choose your own path. That's all about agency, self-determination, even if it feels like you're destined for suffering.
A message of hope against a pre-written script. Love that.
And fourth, connection is not a weakness, but a salvation. Totally flips her fear on its head. The vulnerability she dreaded. Turns out it's her greatest source of power, healing, freedom.
It really is. Her story is fundamentally about carrying this curse, this huge burden, but still searching for light, still looking for a different path.
Yeah.
It's about that terrifying courage to let people see your shadow, the parts you think are unforgivable, and then discovering power, not just in rigid control, but in, like, letting go, in vulnerability.
Counterintuitive.
Totally. It's not just managing the inner demon, it's embracing the whole complex reality of who she is. Fierce and fragile.
And if you, listening, see yourself in Raven, if her struggles hit home, carrying burdens, feeling misunderstood, fighting your own demons.
They are definitely not alone.
Her fans, our sources say, are often people who've carried too much, felt too much, learned to survive by hiding the most tender parts of themselves. Out of fear, self-preservation.
Her story validates that experience, gives it a voice.
Okay, let's dig into some maybe more surprising insights from the Raven Scroll. Starting with this one. Despite being so famously stoic, closed off, melancholic, Raven is actually called the most hopeful Titan.
Which really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does she hold on to hope amidst all that darkness, that seemingly fixed destiny, those deep wounds?
Yeah, how?
It's not a naive hope, clearly. It's fierce, stubborn almost, resilient.
Yeah.
She keeps believing, against literally all odds, that things can be different, that she can choose, even when everything seems to pull her towards destruction.
That belief, despite everything, it's incredible inner strength.
You see it in her vigilance, her refusal to just give up, even when she must be utterly exhausted.
And that stoicism, that calm, reserved, sometimes sarcastic, even cold front. It's a shell, isn't it?
Absolutely. Protecting a deeply kind, empathetic, caring soul underneath. And that contrast, that's a huge part of her relatability.
It's a mask a lot of us wear sometimes.
Definitely. Anyone who grew up feeling misunderstood, out of place, or maybe afraid of their own strong emotions like they were too much, they see themselves in Raven. Her struggles tap into the universal thing of navigating a turbulent inner world while trying to project control on the outside. She makes it okay to feel different, to carry unseen burdens.
Like the quiet kid in the back, seeing everything, feeling everything, saying nothing.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to her core battle, that duality, that constant internal conflict.
Always wrestling with herself.
Demonic heritage versus human side, the need for absolute control versus the need to feel, the danger of letting go versus the pain of isolation. It's this exhausting, endless tug of war inside her.
A cosmic civil war in her own head and heart.
And that's why her greatest enemy isn't really Trigon, is it? Even though he's, a massive demonic threat.
Right, he's huge, but the real enemy, the relentless one, is her own mind, her own heart.
The inner critic, the fear, the self-judgment.
Yeah, the voice whispering she's unworthy, destined for evil. That's the primary struggle. It's internal. Self-mastery, self-acceptance, integration, not just fighting the big bad guy outside.
Yeah. How often has her own fear or doubt caused more problems than an actual villain?
Happens all the time. Paralysis through fear.
Yet, paradoxically, because she feels so much, so intensely, and has fought so hard to control it, she has this amazing emotional empathy.
A quiet superpower.
She can sense and help others in these really subtle, profound ways, often without saying a word.
And that redefines strength, doesn't it? It's not just brute force or flashy powers.
No.
It's quietly helping friends navigate their own stuff.
No.
Offering gentle support, caring deeply, even when she seems aloof.
Like with Beast Boy, right? When he's down, she just knows what he needs. Not a big speech, just quiet presence, a look, a soft word.
Exactly. It's power from understanding, from connection, not dominance.
But that internal struggle, the fear of her origins, it led to this deep, deep fear of rejection.
Understandably.
She hides her true self constantly, hides the heritage, the fears. Terrified her friends will ditch her, recoil in horror if they knew the whole truth. The demon dad, the potential for destruction.
It's a lonely way to live, always guarded.
But the breakthrough moment, it happens again and again.
And it's always transformative. When she takes that huge risk, lets herself be seen, reveals the vulnerability.
She's met with support, acceptance, love, not scorn.
Which just proves, right?
Uh-huh.
True connection only happens when we risk being seen, scars and all. Authenticity, even when it's scary, fosters real acceptance, deeper bonds.
And despite being seemingly destined for evil, the vessel for Trigon,
She constantly, fiercely chooses her own path, defies that grim narrative written for her, refuses to be a pawn.
that's such a powerful message, isn't it? About agency, self-determination.
Absolutely. It tells you loud and clear. She is not what others or even fate say she must be. She fights again and again to write her own story, based on her choices, her compassion, her connections.
Proving origins don't have to be destiny.
Exactly. The whole Terror of Trigon arc is pure testament to that, resisting being the key to his conquest.
And her courage. It's not flashy.
No grandstanding.
It's quiet.
Resilient. It's in her ability to just keep going, keep hoping, keep fighting for herself, for her friends, even when she feels unworthy, terrified, overwhelmed.
It's that subtle, profound bravery, the daily act of defying despair, just getting up and trying again.
That's courage.
Finally, the Raven Scroll points out something really liberating about her journey. There's no neat ending, no point where it's all perfectly fixed.
Right. It's just cycles, new beginnings layered on top of each other.
Every time she faces the darkness, confronts Trigon or that inner shadow, and survives,
Or even just rebalances.
a new possibility opens up.
She's living proof that healing, hope, they aren't one-time deals.
Yeah.
Not a finish line you cross and you're done.
No cured stamp.
Exactly. They're ongoing practices, continuous processes, growth, integration, transformation, always unfolding, never really finished.
Okay, let's dive deeper into that idea of cycles, recursion. Because the Raven Scroll talks about this a lot, calls it scrollologic, the loop of story and self.
And it positions Raven as this archetype of the survivor who becomes her own witness.
Which sounds poetic, but it's foundational, right? For understanding these persistent struggles.
It really is. The scroll's perspective is that no trauma, no curse, no destiny is ever truly final. The self, like our core essence, always has the power to remix the story, revisit it, and crucially, soften it, no matter how many times that loop seems to return to darkness.
Like a musical theme recurring, but maybe slightly different each time.
Exactly. New instrumentation, different tempo, shifted harmony. It changes the meaning, the impact. You get another chance to play differently.
Okay, so the key recursive lessons from her journey. These really hit home, beyond just superheroes. First, pain isn't the end, it's a cycle.
Yeah. Her story isn't one big win over the curse.
Yeah.
Done. Finished.
No, it's about surviving the dark patch, maybe relapsing, slipping back, but then choosing again. Choosing connection, self-acceptance, light. It's constant motion, re-engagement.
And each time she goes through it, confronts those echoes. She changed, yes, but not ruined, not diminished. The cycle doesn't destroy her. It refines her, adds layers of wisdom, compassion, resilience, like purification through repeated trials, stronger each time.
Second big recursive lesson, the enemy is rarely just out there.
Oof, yeah. The scroll argues the real recursion, the true cycle, the toughest opponent, it's internal.
The battle inside.
The struggle with your own shadow, your fear, your self-judgment, that inner dialogue, the self-sabotage, the whispers of doubt, that's the recurring challenge. More relentless than any external bad guy.
Even Trigon.
Even Trigon. Her daily fight is against the Trigon inside her, the part telling her she's irredeemable.
And third, this one feels really hopeful. Even the softest opening changes the whole cycle.
Yes, we see it constantly. When Raven lets her friends in, even a tiny bit, just cracks the armor, the whole story shifts. New possibilities open up.
It's amazing how powerful a small act of vulnerability can be.
It really is. The scroll emphasizes that softening, sharing, even one moment of trust. You can rewrite the whole pattern, if only for a breath. Changes the trajectory, like altering one tiny variable in a huge equation, changing the whole result.
So, okay, bringing this home. What does this mean for you listening? What can we as humans really take from Raven's journey? First, you are more than your worst day.
So important.
Your darkness, your past, your pain, your mistakes, they don't have to define your future. They don't dictate who you are tomorrow.
You absolutely can choose again, no matter how many times you feel like you've failed or relapsed or hidden away. Her story is this profound reassurance. The past isn't a prison. Redemption, redirection, always possible.
Like that really bad day where you feel you messed everything up. It's just one page, not the whole book.
Exactly.
Second, letting others witness you is healing. Real connection, the kind that nurtures and strengthens. It only comes when you risk letting someone see the shadows, the parts you hide, the vulnerabilities you fear.
Because hiding those parts, yeah, it might feel safe from judgment, but it keeps you utterly alone. Raven finds acceptance, belonging, when she lets herself be known.
It's that paradox of intimacy, right? To be truly loved, you have to let yourself be seen.
Precisely.
Third, control isn't the only strength. Raven's journey shows that sometimes real strength, the deepest power, isn't in perfect, rigid control. It's in letting yourself feel. Even the messy, scary stuff, letting go of that need for absolute control.
Which is so counterintuitive, isn't it? We equate strength with keeping a tight lid on things.
Totally.
But her story shows the immense quiet power in vulnerability, in embracing the whole spectrum of experience, not just the easy parts. It's like a clenched fist can't receive anything. An open hand can give and take.
Wow, yeah. Fourth, destiny isn't fixed. Even if you feel like you were born into hardship or your path feels totally laid out.
Even if there's a prophecy.
Right. You're not condemned to live that script. You have agency.
Every day, every choice, however small, you're writing your own scroll, shaping your narrative, defying the inevitable. It's ongoing self-creation.
Fifth, hope can be quiet. Raven's hope isn't loud, not flashy, often invisible.
Yeah, sometimes hope is just getting up again after you fall, sitting quietly with friends, sharing peace, or just believing you're worthy, no matter what that critical voice in your head says.
It's that tenacious flicker in the dark, refusing to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, sixth, and maybe the most liberating, cycles are not failure. Seeing those painful patterns return, it's not a sign you failed or you're weak or you haven't made progress.
No. Cycles are invitations. Try again. This time with a bit more wisdom from the last round, a deeper understanding, and maybe a bit more self-forgiveness for stumbling.
Opportunities for refinement, not judgment.
Beautifully put.
Like the Scroll Speak summary puts it, Raven's story teaches us the loop is not a prison, but a practice. You survive, soften, and return. Not to race the dark, but to remember there is always more to the song.
I love that. It's about the ongoing work.
Yeah.
Acceptance, integration, resilience.
And now, something really special from the Raven Scroll, this beautiful metaphor for her journey towards peace, acceptance, an alternative ending. The mango orchard.
Ah, yes. This is lovely.
Picture this. The final battle's over, shadows are thinning, Raven's exhausted, alone. At the edge of some unknown realm, it's quiet. Deep green, soft light between ancient branches. Smells like earth and old rain.
But she feels that familiar ache, right? The echo
Yeah.
of every fight, every time she shielded herself with pain. The old habits scream at her. Turn back, isolate.
But the orchard, it calls to her. Not with words, with warmth. An invitation softer than anything she's known, it draws her in.
Simply.
She steps between the trees, quiet as a memory. Her cloak rustles. And in the heart of it, she finds this tree, full of mangoes. Golden, heavy, like sunrise and forgiveness, the description says.
Beautiful.
Her hand, the one that's wielded so much power, held so much control, it trembles as she reaches out. A quiet surrender.
And it's not a spell, not a test, just an offering. Simple, pure.
She takes a breath, bites the mango.
And the juice runs down her chin, sweet and sharp. Sunlight and sorrow all mixed together, dissolving on her tongue. It's this incredibly sensory, symbolic moment, tasting life fully.
In that instant, she feels all her stories. The pain, the shadows, the quiet hopes they soften, swirl together, not erased, that's key.
No, not a race.
Remixed, integrated into something whole, a recomposition of her entire self.
And the scroll's wisdom here is profound. It didn't demand she be free of darkness. That wasn't the goal. Maybe not even possible. The invitation was just allow yourself to taste sweetness too.
Experience joy, peace, integrate all of it, don't deny the hard parts.
The integration of opposites within herself. Powerful.
As she swallows, the orchard hums around her, not judging her past, her power, just welcoming her, embracing her.
And in that peace, that integration, she can feel her friends nearby, the ones she feared trusting. Their presence is comfort, reassurance, connection.
And that voice inside, the whisper of doom, Trigon's echo, it's gone quiet, for a while at least. A precious break.
The storm inside finds its match in the gentle rain among the trees. Equilibrium, calm settles over her.
And in that stillness, under the orchard's gaze, she has this huge realization. She's not just the fruit of her curse, not passive, not destined for evil.
No, she is actively, powerfully.
The one who chose to bite the mango.
Meaning she chose to let in a new taste, a new experience, to let her story keep going beyond the script, to let the orchard, this symbol of peace, healing, integration, remember her, finding belonging, self-acceptance, not by erasing the past, but by assimilating it all.
And as the sun sets, casting golden shadows, the orchard blooms, not just a place, but a promise.
Every shadow holds a little sweetness, every curse can be softened, every ending is just another beginning.
Another chance to choose the mango. Wow.
It's a beautiful piece of writing. Really captures her potential for peace.
And here's where things get even more interesting. Raven's story, as unique as it feels, it's not alone in its themes.
Not at all.
It's woven from the same mythic cloth as figures throughout history, across cultures, echoing these archetypal narratives.
Absolutely. These timeless figures, they consistently balance shadow and light, wrestle with curses, choices, navigate exile, seek belonging. It shows how universal Raven's themes are. Her struggles aren't new. They're powerful echoes of human experiences explored through myth for millennia.
She's like a modern incarnation of ancient truths.
Exactly.
Okay, let's look at some specifics. Mythological parallels. Starting with Persephone, Greek mythology, queen of the underworld.
Right. Famously taken into darkness, the underworld, by Hades. But she returns each spring, bringing life back.
Like Raven, she bridges two worlds.
Shadows and death, growth and life. She embodies that cycle. Descent, return. The endless loop of going dark, confronting that underworld, then returning to the orchard of life. Much like Raven's battles with Trigon and her returns to hope, each time bringing a piece of darkness into the light. She's not just a victim, she rules both realms.
And Hecate, Greek-Roman myth, goddess of magic, crossroads the night.
Hecate moves between realms, guards thresholds of shadow and transformation. Right at the crossroads, it mirrors Raven living on the edge of her own dangerous powers and deep fears.
Keeper of the threshold.
Able to see into both light and dark, understanding the balance. Like Raven navigates her dual nature, human and demon, offering insights from that liminal space she inhabits. She knows the hidden paths, the hard choices.
Then Inanna, or Ishtar, Sumerian myth, her descent into the underworld.
A powerful queen descends to the land of the dead, gets stripped of everything, faces annihilation, death itself, and then returns transformed, reborn.
Like Raven.
Enduring immense trials in darkness, facing destruction, emerging changed. With new wisdom, new power, deeper understanding. It's that symbolic rebirth after suffering. Sometimes you have to lose it all to find yourself.
Celtic myth, the Morrigan, goddess of fate, war, prophecy. Sounds formidable.
Oh, she is. Complex, often terrifying, both destroyer and protector. Fierce in battle, bringing ruin, but also offering enigmatic prophecy, guidance. Always tied to cycles, life, death, choice, consequence.
Echoing Raven's struggle.
Between her curse and her hope, her power to destroy versus her capacity to nurture and heal, the chaotic beauty of necessary transformation.
Hindu mythology, Kali, mother of transformation and destruction. Often misunderstood, right?
Very much so. Kali destroys demons, evil, yes. But paradoxically, she's also the giver of freedom from fear, illusion. She embodies darkness and fierce nurturing, rage and mercy.
Terrifying yet compassionate mother figure.
Exactly. It mirrors Raven's journey as she accepts her full self, integrating her demonic power with her compassion, proving even destructive forces can serve a higher protective purpose.
Baba Yaga from Slavic myth, the wild witch in the forest, house on chicken legs.
A fascinating figure, sometimes monstrous, terrifying, dark magic, but also sometimes profoundly wise and unlikely helper. Lives on the edge of the world, tests travelers, holds strange ancient wisdom.
Like Raven.
Feared for her power, her reclusiveness, but can also be a guide, a mentor for those brave enough to seek her out, respect her boundaries, offering harsh truths that lead to growth.
And finally, Christian mysticism, the Black Madonna, symbol of hidden suffering, endurance, compassion.
Often depicted with dark skin, she represents the sacredness of sorrow, the holiness in surviving grief, enduring pain, and still offering unconditional love, empathy.
A soft resonance with Raven's pain.
Her hidden sorrow, her deep empathy, showing suffering can coexist with compassion. True spiritual depth emerging from darkness.
So, looking across all these figures, ancient, diverse, and Raven's modern story, what are the common threads, the big picture?
It's striking how consistent they are, isn't it, across all these myths, and so clearly in Raven, the journey through darkness or exile, a necessary descent, always a struggle with a curse, a destiny, a hidden power that needs integrating. Crucially, the transformation found not by avoiding the struggle, but by surviving yourself, overcoming those internal battles.
And underneath it all,
the hope, sometimes quiet, sometimes fierce, hope that you can be loved for who you are, shadows and all, and that you can love back. even after the storm, the underworld.
It's a testament to the human spirit, resilience, growth, connection, no matter where you start.
Absolutely.
So, Raven's story. Clearly, so much more than just a comic character. It's timeless, archetypal. This deep dive shows her struggles mirror challenges so many of us face. Identity, fear of our darker selves, longing for connection while wanting to hide.
A mirror to our own condition.
Yeah.
And if we take that idea, cycles aren't failures. They're invitations to try again with wisdom, self-compassion. And if we embrace that bite the mango metaphor,
Choosing sweetness, connection.
even when the darkness recurs, even with internal conflict, there's always the opportunity to choose a new beginning, to soften the story, integrate the past, embrace moments of sweetness, connection.
Finding the quiet courage to taste the light, experience joy, belonging, even knowing the shadows are still there, might come back.
It's about choosing hope again and again.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the mythic heart of Raven. We hope you take a moment, reflect on what part of her journey, her quiet courage, her fight with control, her embrace of vulnerability, her power to remix her own story resonates most with your life, your own scroll.
Yeah, lots to think about there.
Until next time, keep diving deep.